going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and let's get ready to rumble. Royal Rumble 2019. They have one hell of a show that they are following at NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Now, I'm sorry I'm a day late on this. I was just really tired and, trying to catch up on some things. So, coming up with the Royal Rumble a day late, but I'm getting it in. And they start off with what I figured would be one of the later matches, but they kick it off with Becky Lynch versus Asuka. And the match itself, very good, got you pumped up, got you into the pay-per-view. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't know if it was as good as I thought it was going to be, and I don't know that that's necessarily a discredit, because these two are very good performers in the ring. And so I think my issue was that I kind of put the expectations a little too high, and that happens sometimes. But I thought they did a really good job, and they had some really cool moments. And at the end of the day, Asuka cleanly, I think she submitted Becky Lynch, and I think my only problem with that is you're building Becky Lynch up to be the badass of the Divas division, maybe next to Ronda Rousey, and I don't want to say it makes her look weak, but it definitely doesn't do anything for her, that's for sure. It does make Asuka look strong, though. You got a very strong women's champion, and she had a pretty dominant performance because it was a clean win over Becky Lynch. So in that way, it was good. After that, you get The Miz and Shane O'Mac. They take on The Bar, and Cesaro and Sheamus, of course, always very hard-hitting. I really enjoy watching those two a lot of times. I mean, if you put them in a match against the New Day, Gallows and Anderson, the Usos, they always are able to have a good match. So I do like Cesaro and Sheamus. And this, they had some cool spots. I was actually, I don't want to say I was surprised at the finish, because I kind of figured that's where they were going, but I was just kind of hoping that they would do a turn. And so what happens is Miz and Shane O'Mac get the win. Shane O'Mac does a shooting star press at like 49 years old. Props to Shane O'Mac for that. He gets the pin. What I was hoping would happen is that they would lose, and then Miz would turn on Shane O'Mac, and they would have their match at WrestleMania. Which they may, they may still figure out a way to do that, but that's kind of what I was hoping for. So, but so far, it stands with Miz and Shane O'Mac. They won, and we'll see what happens tonight. SmackDown's tonight, so we'll see how that goes. It was a fine match. I don't know if there was anything majorly that stood out about it, but it was cool. Although Shane McMahon doing this shooting star press was impressive as hell. Gotta give that credit. Honestly, that was ridiculous. So that leads into Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey. And if I'm being honest, I felt like this is the match I expected from Becky Lynch and Asuka. I feel like this was actually the better match between the two. And it just goes to show what I've been saying for a while. Sasha Banks has been just horribly underused. I feel like she is one of the most talented women on the whole women's roster. I've said that from the beginning. I've been a big supporter of Sasha Banks, and she showed why she deserved to be in the main event picture in this match. She really did. They fucking killed it. Like Ronda Rousey, props to her. She always has some really cool moves. And for somebody who's as new as she is, not even really a year into this, I don't think, she's doing damn good. I mean, she's bringing what she knows from MMA and really utilizing it here, and it makes her look strong. At the end of the day, of course, Ronda Rousey gets the win. She tries to shake Sasha Banks' hand, and Sasha kind of does, and then kind of does the Four Horsewomen thing and says, we're not done yet, and then walks away. That leads into the Women's Royal Rumble. You start out with Lacey Evans, who, okay, she's debuting in WWE at this point in the Royal Rumble match. Number 2 is Natalya. Natalya is definitely good enough to make Lacey look as good as she possibly can. Let's face it, Natalya is one of the best. And I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Lacey Evans. She's still very awkward in the ring. And I think a couple of moments in the Rumble prove that. There are a couple of moves where it was just awkward and unnatural feeling. So the big story with the Rumble, I mean, you could go through everybody who came in, but the long and short of it is Lana, I think, was number 27 or something, and she got injured on the pre-show, injured. Rusev got knocked into her. She hurt her leg, so she's kind of hobbling along down halfway down the ramp to the ring. She can't even make it to the ring. A bunch of people come to check on Lana. Becky Lynch shows up, says she can't fight, I want in. So they let Becky Lynch in, and there you go. Now it's on. You have some really cool moments with Becky Lynch, you know, going up against Charlotte. Of course, Nia Jax, who I'm not a big fan of at all, comes in, blah, 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 who cares. Becky Lynch gets the win, though. And that's what really matters here. And that was amazing. The crowd went nuts when Becky Lynch won. Because they already know what's coming. Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey. That's what they've been building up for a while. And so they're doing that. And that's cool. So we finally got that confirmation. We had Becky Lynch. Big, big moment. I was really happy about it. So far, the pay-per-view is doing pretty good in my estimation. And really, so far, it's been the girls. I mean, Becky, Asuka, Sasha, Ronda, and then the Women's Royal Rumble. And then you've had one tag team match with, you know, greatest tag team in the world versus The Bar. So now we're going to get into the men. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. This was a good match. It was a really good match. You know, it was a very technical match. And one thing I've always said I love about Daniel Bryan in his matches is that he makes his hits look real. Like, that's the object. You know, you want the objective to be get it to sell as real as it could possibly be to a real fight. And Daniel Bryan does that in spades. He has this mean, nasty look on his face, and he's grinding his elbows, and he's throwing elbows, and he's throwing knees, and when he's on the mat and he's kicking somebody in the face, it looks like he's trying to tear somebody apart. So all the props in the world. I thought it was a really good match. It kind of ended weird for me. And that's Eric Rowan, who, you know, has been MIA for a while. He comes down to ringside, and there was a spot where the referee gets knocked down. Eric Rowan runs in the wing. He grabs AJ Styles, slams him to the mat. Referee comes to. Daniel Bryan gets the win off that slam. And then Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan walk out together. So apparently they've got this new pact. Interesting. I don't know what to make of it yet. I don't know how to feel about it. I'll wait and reserve judgment. It was kind of weird, you know, in the moment, because everybody's like, what the hell is going on? You know, why is this dude out here? Okay, clearly they've got some alliance forming now, but does it really sell? And, well, we'll find out later because, like I said, I'll reserve judgment until I see more of that. Overall, still a pretty good match, though. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar is next. And I didn't think I would say this initially, but to me personally, this was the match of the night. And I'll tell you why. Two things. The athleticism of Finn Balor, he went absolutely crazy in this match. He had to be spent afterwards. Very high octane match. Very fun to watch. So you have that aspect of it, which is kind of the new school thing that's going on. You have the very fast, high octane matches. But then you have the old school storytelling that Brock Lesnar pulled into this. And Brock Lesnar, say what you will about him, he's very good at telling a story in a match. He really is. He's done it numerous times with John Cena, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles. Like, Brock Lesnar, he's really good at telling a story. He really is. Honestly, I think he's one of the best in the ring right now. I really do. Like, the guy, he's not afraid to sell for somebody. He's not afraid to take shots. He's not, you know, none of that he doesn't seem to mind any of it. And so this match really worked because the bell hits and then Finn Balor is all over Brock Lesnar from beginning to almost the end. And I mean literally the last 30 seconds of the match, really. And it really made it entertaining. I mean, like, the whole thing is almost a squash match for Finn Balor, which I thought was kind of crazy. And then at the very, very end, I think he went for the coup de grace or something, and then Brock Lesnar caught him and got him in the Kimura, and Finn Balor tapped out. So you kind of figure that, you know, Brock Lesnar is going to keep the belt. I don't know that that was any big surprise, but the way they handled the match was a surprise, and I really liked it. I really did. I thought it was amazing. So, you know, it might be my favorite match, really, truly. The men's Royal Rumble followed, and you started out with Elias. He's doing his Elias bit. And then Jeff Jarrett is number 2. That was interesting. So you have this thing where it looks like they might be doing this little duet thing, and then Elias cracks Jeff Jarrett with the guitar. And, you know, beats him up for a second and then throws him over the top rope. And I think Shinsuke Nakamura was number 3. I forget who number 3 was, but I know Shinsuke was really close to the beginning. So that's how you started the Rumble. And the end of it was Seth Rollins winning the Rumble, which I really, really liked. And the big complaint I have about the entire pay-per-view, like, as a whole, the biggest thing I hated about this was R-Truth coming out, getting plowed over by Nia Jax, who has zero talent, has injured so many people, and is just terrible in every way, shape, and form. And they're putting her in the men's Royal Rumble. She's gone over a couple of guys for a second, and she even kind of went over on Dean Ambrose on Monday Night Raw. I really don't like this. Like, she is the most untalented person on the roster, and I hated it. I'm just going to be blunt. She's fat. It slows her down. It makes her sloppy. It makes her dangerous. That's not even trying to be hating. It's just a fact. I have seen her in the ring so many times lose wind and hurt somebody because of it. I am not a fan of Nia Jax. I don't like her. I will never like her. I'm sorry, dude. That's just how I feel. So that's the only really big complaint, and I really did not like that part of the Rumble. I really fucking hated that moment. Other than that, though, it was a really, really good pay-per-view, if I'm being honest. I think a lot of the matches sold very well, and they kind of did what they did with NXT, too. They kept it short, sweet, and simple. You had the matches, you tried to make quality matches, not so much on promo, not too much fluff in the middle, which I liked. That's what I want to see. So I did really like the Royal Rumble overall. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I will. I think they made a couple of stupid decisions. I think they did a couple of things a lot of the fans really hated. But overall, it was good. It was very entertaining. It was not TakeOver Phoenix, but like I said, that's almost an impossible feat to beat. But I think it did hold its own. So that's where I'm at with it. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Kaged Nation, out.